Yo guys, this is Paul from beatsbypaul.com, and right now you're watching the very first video of my VST plugins that I can't live out series, which is obviously about VST plugins I can't live without. If you want to know more about this series, just go check out the blog on the website I mentioned, and now without further ado, just let's go to our first plugin I can't live without, and that's Glitch 2. Boing. So first I will show you what it does. I will also describe what it does a little bit, and then I will go over the settings and how it works and how to work with it and stuff. Okay, so first let me introduce Glitch a bit. It's basically an FX processor based on a sequencer and a bunch of effects you can put into that sequencer, and it's meant to glitch everything you feed into it and make the sound chopped and sliced and diced and glitched and stretched and whatever you can possibly imagine. So how does it sound? Here there's my little demo beat that sounds like this. And now I will play it again with the glitch turned on, and it will sound like this. Or it won't sound like this because it's actually empty. So yeah, this is what Glitch can do with your beat, and also a lot of other sounds, or even your master bus, depends on you. And now, well, I will just let you watch me playing with it for a little bit and to see how does it work in action. And after that I will explain those controls and the interface and stuff. So let's begin. Oh yeah, I should have made a shorter loop. Anyway, here we go again. This one is good. So yeah, basically this is how you work with the sequencer. You can punch those effects in simply by drag and dropping them, like clicking like this and then making them longer, shorter, or deleting them by right click. And yeah, you can also randomize each effect in the sequencer, like by clicking on this little dice icon. And you can also solo it. I want to do this. And the solo is like really useful when you have a lot of effects in the sequencer and you want to fine tune just one of them, but you can't really properly hear that effect because of all the other ones. So you solo it, you tweak it, you unsolo it, and you're done. And yeah, really nice thing. Also there's the randomizer, and the randomizer basically acts like each of the blocks, when it gets triggered, it acts like random effect every time it gets triggered. So it can lead you to some interesting, like, inspirational stuff. And yeah, you probably noticed that those effects have each of them has its own settings in this bottom section, and besides those settings, each effect also has a filter section with low pass, high pass, band pass, and band stop, and each little mixer section with mix, span, and volume controls. I guess I probably don't have to explain what those are doing. Anyway, I also don't want to explain all these single knobs, because those are quite standard parameters for those effects. So you probably already know what most of those are doing to the sound, and yeah, that's basically it. I don't want this video to be that long because it's explaining every single button. Anyway, what I should explain, I'd also like to explain, is the randomizer settings section, because it's an interesting one. And you can see there is a knob for each effect, and what this knob does is that it basically tells the randomizer how often it should use it. So when it's like this, everything on 50%, there's an even chance for every one of those like playing next. But when you do it like this, I will switch the scene. Sorry, I'm an idiot, I forgot how this works. But I will randomize some shit in here, and I will put there only the delay and the stretcher, and behold, oh, I forgot the delay. You can hear it's only the stretcher and the delay. And if I add, I don't know, lo-fi or modulator, yeah. You can hear now there's also a modulator too. So yeah, this is the randomizer settings. And let's go to the controls for the sequencer. Maybe you noticed I was pushing randomize button for effects before, and I was playing with it a little bit. And there's actually quite a few useful things, so let's go over them right now. As I was just going over the effects, let's go over the effects as well, and I will randomize some shit in, and watch out these effect parameters, what they do. When I push randomize, they just kinda go all over the place, and when I push mutate, they get only slightly modified. So that's the only difference between randomize and mutate. It's the amount of the change. And yeah, initializing just makes them go into their default settings. Also, there is this edit drop down, which allows you, basically there are the same three buttons: mutate, randomize, and actually I should check this out. Yeah, you can see they are staying same, so they get randomized. Those buttons, they get randomized only like the current selected effect, but with I'm not sure about this right now. So reverse, it's 2.5%. randomize. Okay, sorry. So with those, you can mutate all the effects parameters for all the scenes, I believe. And you can also init, copy and paste all of them. Okay, I will check it out. If I randomize it in here, that's weird. So basically it's what I thought, and that mutate and randomize all effects are basically those exact same buttons as here. Anyway, as I just explained effects, I can easily explain sequence and scene too, because those buttons are the same. This just initialize the whole sequence, randomizes the position, or mutates like the length and position slightly. But you can also set the number of beats. It makes the sequence longer, and you can set the division or shorter, and you can also adjust the number of divisions, which makes the whole sequencer or sequence more precise or less precise. Also, there's the loop button, which when turned off, it will always make the sequence stop on its end instead of looping indefinitely. Also, typical edit dropdown, copy, paste, randomize, mutate. You can also mirror the sequence and flip it. And there are also two interesting things, and this is mix paste and mix randomize, which basically acts like pasting without deleting the previous stuff, or randomizing without deleting the previous stuff. So it pastes or randomizes, but it adds to what has been there before. So, and the scene settings is basically both of those effects and sequence button settings combined. So mutate, randomize, and init applies for the whole sequence, all the effects, all the effect settings, all the sequencer positions and stuff. Can edit, init, copy, paste, randomize, mutate, nothing new under the sun. There is, however, this interesting drop down, and this is, I think I've already explained this. So this is basically switching between the scenes, allowing you to create a lot of different effect chains. But I didn't explain this lock icon, and this is very useful when you are like tweaking some particular loop, and you want to like hold this loop instead of the sequence being switched by external MIDI nodes that are in your DAW and something like this. So you can basically lock it, and it will stay until you unlock it, and it won't receive any MIDI nodes, it won't change. So yeah, really useful little button, don't forget it. And yeah, those are the controls for the scenes basically. So there's nothing more to it really. And okay, yeah, with all that being said, let's just check out this top section. Just a real quick peek at the mixer section of the whole plugin. Again, the same three things: pan, volume, and mix. Also, like the preset selection and controls to load them, save them, rename them, generate random names like clumsily fluttering enlaces or very freak-tastic, distinctly meaty or heuristically grotesque thinking machine. Okay, I'm done. And again, initializing, copying, pasting, randomizing, program name and stuff. Okay, I feel already tired from repeating this edit drop down all over and again. So let's go to the last two drop downs, and this is the trigger and quantize settings. And okay, I'll begin with trigger. as this basically tells glitch how to react to the playback. When you set it to host, it begins immediately when the DAW begins playback, and it stops immediately when the DAW stops playback. Like this. Of course, it loops only when the loop is on, and if it's off, it will stop after the end of the first cycle. Then there's gate. This is interesting for playing live because it makes glitch react only on when the MIDI node is triggered, and it plays only when it's triggered, and when it's released it stops playing, or it stops playing after the end of the loop when the loop is like turned off. So I will demonstrate. So let me choose the right instrument, and yeah, this is actually how you change the sequence by the MIDI, and this is how it sounds. Yeah, so it was even for the demonstration of the loop button, and then there's the last one, and that's latch, and latch means it's similar to gate, but it doesn't stop playing when you have the loop button on. It just goes on and on and on until you just hit the stop button in your DAW, or when the loop button's off, it stops playing like again when there's the end of the sequence. So basically for live play you should choose gate or maybe latch, and when you are like programming the glitch by the MIDI notes in your DAW, you should probably just leave it to host. It's up to you. It can be like trigger 2, gate 2. And then there's the last one, and it's quantize. Maybe you know already what quantize does, and if you don't know, I will just briefly explain. Basically, when you're playing live and triggering the glitch with your keyboard, you should basically be hitting the notes exactly at the right times, exactly on the grid, because when you don't and the effect starts later and sooner, it will mess up your sound really badly, and it will sound like shit. It will turn into utter mess. You don't want this to happen. So when you're playing live, it's always better to turn the quantize on, because what it does is that it aligns the note you play live, it aligns it on the grid, and it makes the effect start exactly in the right time. So it works flawlessly, and no weird artifacts get in your way. And the drop down, basically only what there is, it's like beat 1/8 and 1/16, which is basically a resolution of the or I don't know, precision of the quantize function. And yeah, basically that's all. Personally, I love this plugin. I love to use it on a beat. It can create some really interesting like variation, some slices, glitches, transitions, but you can really use it on anything, on vocals, on speeches. I will actually try to load one program I saved before, and this is this one. This sounds really, really great on speech, almost like it's from some horror. Just let me check if it's synced to host and quantize. Okay, so yeah, sounds kind of spooky. And yeah, one more thing what I'd like to show you is like how to make it work in Fruity Loops, because normally when you just insert it into your mixer bus, it doesn't do anything, and you have to feed it the MIDI notes. So what you have to do is that you just load the instance of MIDI out, and you choose a channel, a port, And then you go to glitch, to settings, and in the MIDI section you choose the same port number for the input port. So once you do it and you have this instrument selected, you should work with your MIDI keyboard like this. And also you can just draw the notes into some pattern, and again I will demonstrate on the vocal now.
Honest with ourselves.
Yeah, you can hear how the sound's changing based on what it's getting fed from this pattern. So yeah, so this is how you make it work in Fruity Loops. And yeah, I think this is all. So if you want to try it, there's a free demo version on the manufacturer's website. And yeah, I think it's worth the money. I really love to use it on my projects. I think I use it on every single one lately. And yeah, Glitch 2 is really a plugin I can't live without. So feel free to explore it a bit and have fun, guys. Always have fun. Cheers and see you later.